we'll finally get into starting before I get trolled further. Okay,
No,
we'll get the...
no promises of us. Yeah, you won't get trolled, regardless.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, so, during the... Right, I'll keep that in mind. Anyways, so, during your last, adventure, you went to Outpost 6, a penal colony that everyone goes there if they want to forget about you. Doing some investigations there, the sabotage was intentional by a shapeshifter, a Undyne, or Species 8472, as they are also known. They're now on station. It has been several weeks since then. But all of you are more interested. There is a close watch that is being happened with them, clearly, but that's not what interests you right now. What interests all of you right now is the arrival of the USS Ares, which has been traveling at Warp 8 for the past 4 months. The USS Ares is a Defiant-class ship, and notably holds the entire, Gamma Ops crew that will be the Ops station directly adjacent to your Alpha Ops station. You are all in Ops, or various locations. The good doctor is probably in Horizon Medical, doing their various rounds, given that there is 35,000 people on this station by this point. Give or take a few hundred. But you do get a hail in the Ops to all of you that are attending in Ops by the USS Ares. Horizon Station, this is the USS Ares requesting permission to dock in the next 20 some odd minutes. Transport crew and manifest, as well as health inspections and the like, will be appreciated.
What if we just tell them no?
I'm not just, I was half thinking
Just nip this shit in the bud.
This is Captain Phillips, Alpha Ops of Horizon Station. We welcome you. And I go to the crewman to give me and there's docking pad available. Docking pad available for the crew for the
one of the various like ops crewmen that you have around that isn't like of senior staff. Yeah, there's quite a few actually. So with all
I
the
just
ships,
need one.
We can free up the docking hangar 1. The Medea and a few of the other ships are currently out exploring the edges of Delta and Beta, so it should be free space.
That works for me. USS Ares, you're cleared at Docking Bay 1 in about 20 minutes.
Heard loud and clear, Horizon. And then there was just no communique after that. Who would typically be running scanners right now?
Good question. If it's a morning shift, it could be any of the senior staff except for Apricity.
Okay,
As far as I know.
wants to, and only one of you can do this, but whoever wants to do this, running through scans, you can do a insight security check at a difficulty of 3 with the station assisting.
I have pretty good stats in both of those, a 9 in insight and a 5 in security.
Alright, go for it.
Let me just get my dice.
Good.
Never hurts to have dice.
Alright, so that's a 9 and a 5, that's 14. 2 dice, because we don't have any momentum. Well, a 16 and a 20. So,
Starting off good, okay. Alright, I'm gonna hold on to that complication. One thing you just doing the standards you have to do this for any ship, and as the Alpha Ops XO as well as a security officer, it is a standard procedure to be able to lower shields so you can be scanned, so we can get the accurate read of things coming into our station. Those shields are down, without a doubt. But whatever metal type of alloy they are using, you cannot pierce it through with scanners whatsoever.
Captain.
Yes.
The ship itself is impervious to our sensors.
Oh, that's not right.
By the computer's standards, it's almost as if the ship just doesn't exist.
Would Aleska be aware of the type of metal that they're using?
Vaguely.
I don't know where they got this metal, but it's very hard to come by. They must have pulled in some favors to get this kind of metal.
And they keep out, yeah, they must have. So we're looking at a ghost ship, pretty much.
In essence.
Boy, that's just not what I need. And I think this ship is going. I think this crew might be the one that's going to the new op station that's being opened up. Yeah, boy.
Shall I wave them through, Captain?
Yeah, just wave them through. Did they send over the medical records? By any chance?
Yes, they did. And Dr./Commander Apricity would be getting them right now, whatever they are in the middle of doing, whether it's a standard physical checkup of a well or not so well behaved child, or an adult, or just a standard check-in, or an update, or who knows.
Sure, I can multitask.
The files
Is there anything?
Irritatingly normal. There is one that does stick out. One of them does have a particular ocular implant via from combat injuries that they've sustained, but they're the only one that even like remotely sticks out, and even then it's not that strange.
Wait, okay. So, by not that strange, do you mean other than this eye, it's like nobody so much as has fucking childhood asthma? Or is it
No, there's like
nobody has current issues?
There's like basic like childhood asthma and stuff like that. But it's, have you ever looked at any sort of like document or anything and gone, this is formal for the sake of being formal and nothing else? That's what this looks like.
We just went through this with the fucking intelligence officers. I don't want more suspiciously clean health records. After I finish up with, this poor kid with, like, space flu or whatever.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah. I'll give him a lollipop and everything. And then I'll... Aleska, because I don't want to go directly to the captain.
Okay, Aleska, you were pinged at your terminal, I guess.
Aleska here. Go ahead, Doctor.
Hey, I don't mean to bother you if you're in the middle of something important, but I just wanted to raise a few quick concerns about how squeaky clean all of these health records are. Do we have any more information about the ship?
Well, the fact that the ship is impervious to our sensors is not a good sign. Even the shield's down.
What time are they unloading?
They are unloading in the next 20 minutes.
May I request permission to be there? Just to, check the health of the...
They did say that they would undergo the requisite health checks. So I assume that you would be more than welcome there, Doctor.
Good to know. Thank you. I'll bring a few nurses with me.
You're, effectively you're second in command at, Horizon Medical. Amira Hale kind of gives you a slight raised eye. Saw something you didn't like, Doctor?
Ideally, I am just being paranoid.
Best way to stay healthy. You don't have to worry about Horizon Medical. Even if you weren't here and not here, which is still a little bit of a hard thing to get around. I'm not gonna lie about that. We'd be fine for an hour or two.
Alright, I'll be back soon. Obviously update me if anything changes. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a hard time out of character phrasing sentences in a concise manner today.
Oh, you're fine. Alright, for the sake of brevity, we will skip the time there, as they are, they're not loading into, like, from a airlock. They are beaming in from, like a transporter room. The transporter room, is for a station, it's large. This is, unlike the pathetic little transporter room you had on Outpost 6, this can beam in 25 people at a time.
Almost like a cargo transporter.
Yeah, pretty much. As you greet the people that are beaming in, two that stand out the most to you and have, like, the most, like, stern, appropriate, and reasonable posture is a man of African descent who stands roughly maybe 6 foot, maybe a little taller. Tough face, a stern posture, eyes slightly, ever so slightly squinted, very observant. To his left is a troll woman with an equally intimidating lithe figure, tall, almost willowy, but still very much toned, dark walnut hair that's kind of braided back, and blue eyes. Notably, she does not wear the officer uniform. Instead, rather than the standard like Starfleet uniform, it is actually part of the Starfleet Marine Corps. And she does on her right eye, the blue seems to shimmer a bit almost, kind of hinting at some computer and mechanical workings there. The man is the one to speak first. Well, so this is Horizon Station.
Yes, welcome to Horizon Station. I am Captain Jackson Phillips of Alpha Ops.
Commander Herman Kotz. This is my XO, Major Van. So, I know I have a crew that needs to be physically and mentally checked out by your doctor.
Yes, it's standard policy. It's not just you. Even I have been checked out by the doctor.
I would hope so. Now then.
Out of character question: is the person with me at the transporter?
I assume I would be waiting with the couple of nurses that I brought with me to speed up the process of checking people.
Yeah.
Which is and I will gesture over to Apricity and a couple of the nurses. If you step right over here, our chief medical officer will check all the crew over, and you can go straight to work.
That is appreciated. I will be. Well, I have to set things straight and quickly, as I understand the Gamma Ops has been a rotating crew as of so far.
Yeah, it has.
So if you'll forgive me, I will endure the physical and mental checkup, and then I will head to Gamma Ops.
You're excused. You can go ahead.
Thank you. Lance Corporal West, where are you, or what are you doing right now?
I'm probably just making rounds, whatever the duty roster has assigned me to.
Alright. You eventually, probably making a quick change, just part of the path and how it's been set. Alpha Ops is just part of that at times. I would say, I don't know, Aleska, are you still in Ops, or are you down with the, greeting?
I would be down with the captain to get a feel for the
Okay.
Gamma Ops.
And
Do they react to me at all?
the major does. She does react a little bit, but not enough to be warranting of any sort of reaction.
Maybe because I'm very visibly wearing a knife on my lower back, where most Starfleet officers don't have that kind of weaponry on them.
She hasn't noticed that, but she doesn't seem like she's going to bring it up or seems to care that much. For you, Lance Corporal West, and how about you, Neshek? Is Neshek in Ops or somewhere else?
Neshek would be in Ops unless for whatever reason they would be in. If Gam Ops is rotating crew, they wouldn't have any reason to be there already, would they?
No. The rest of the crew.
Okay,
can
then
probably
no.
handle that. Neshek, you. Just Lusa would be. Because we're gonna respect Ro's character as best we can, so I'm not gonna Jaeger them because I don't know the character very well. Lusa's probably off station. Consulting for a ship at this point. So that makes you the current officer in charge. Man, this is always terrifying to say when it comes to any of the characters. However,
What, you don't trust me to be in command? You think I'd make not poor decisions?
Do you want us to answer that?
Look here, Section
I'm changing the
31
uniform
wannabe.
regulations. Everybody has to have their shirts untucked.
I'm fine with that.
anyways, for you, Neshek, you're just doing your scans, particularly focusing on opening more effective ways of communicating with a nebula that just kind of sits out there.
I'd imagine we've now that we've had some time, we would have actually gotten some people from science or diplomacy, basically just like anthropologists just for a nebula up here. I'm probably not doing as much of the communication anymore, aside from if the nebula has a particular like familiarity with me, just because I was the first person who talked. I'm more just managing the communication that team is doing.
However, something does come up on the Alpha Ops like holo display, and it shows the station, and there is a ship dropping out of warp at high warp. At probably what you're guessing is probably warp 9.7 or 8, something truly ridiculous, and not a lot of ships do that. Going off of its registry, it is the USS Campbell.
USS Campbell. You're gonna have to tell me, Paco, what ship that is, because if that's a particularly famous ship, I'm not gonna know that off the top of my head.
It's famous for certain reasons, but
Okay.
Mostly for soup.
No, and a certain cliffhanging edgelord.
Okay, so the USS Campbell is a Giorgio class science workhorse, effectively.
Okay.
It has been traditionally it went out of service, but there are a few small amounts that are used as this one is typically used as a training vessel. So it has a crew of 37 officers, and the other 150 are enlisted or cadets of various years.
Why can a training vessel hit warp 9.8?
And it is approaching Horizon Station. And it does, before you can even really parse that thought even further, it does drop out of warp, and it's one of its nacelles is dumping out plasma, but it doesn't look like it's taken any fire. This looks like a ship that has pushed itself way too hard.
Ooh.
They went hot rodding.
I'm gonna ping engineering to get on, like, basically get a crew on standby to go over, and then I'm gonna ping Alpha Ops Horizon Station to USS Campbell. Status report, and basically just status report initially.
This is... damn it. Sorry, this is the... acting captain of the USS Campbell. Permission to... I don't know how else to say this. Permission to site-to-site transport to your sickbay.
Alright, I guess I'm sending another ping to medical.
Shit.
Apricity?
And then I'm actually gonna respond back. Sorry, say the acting captain's name again?
They did not give their name.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. Then I didn't.
That helped.
USS Campbell. Before I can authorize site-to-site transfer, I need more information. Please provide details on your current situation. Please give current rank, name, designation.
Lieutenant.
If your crew need emergency medical.
Shit.
And how many crew members do you have in need of emergency medical? If 98. You have need of emergency medical. How many crew members do you have total?
We started out with 216.
God damn.
Stand by. I will directly call Chief Medical Officer Apricity. Ops to Chief Medicine.
Shouldn't the captain know about this too?
Oh yeah, I should ping you that as well. Yeah. Especially after that point. Oh, so I guess I'll be pinging both of you, but like I'll ping you, but I'm still calling Apricity for medical.
And I tap my badge. Phillips here. What's going on, Neshek?
Captain, we just had the USS Campbell drop out of extremely high warp. They are reporting 98 personnel in need of emergency medical attention for direct site-to-site transportation. And I guess Apricity's on this too.
I mean, Apricity's in the same room, so Apricity would have hurt me. But I would have heard the conversation. Yeah.
Comms as well.
Yeah. Out of 200, we're down to 98. Oh boy.
Well, 98 that are in need of assistance.
98 assistance. Oh shit. That means the captain's probably injured or dead.
I'm currently
correct, sir.
I'm currently in Docking Bay 1 and overseeing a recent ship transfer, but I'll be on my way to the hospital immediately by your leave, Captain. I think this may take precedence.
I think this takes precedence. Either nurses here, the nurses will take over. You go to sick bay. In Neshek, as soon as a person gets to sick bay, have them sent straight. Have them do site to site straight to sick bay. And
there are already doctors there. They can start transferring them immediately.
Right. All right. I approve site to say, and me and Apricity will be right there.
Okay. I guess I forget who technically is in charge of transporters. I guess it's engineering, and then I'll talk back to Campbell. USS Campbell, you have been approved for site-to-site medical transport. Please stand by. You are being beamed directly to our med bays.
Thank you, Horizon. I will fill in the op that is pertinent to this information.
I would like to, while that is happening, so the ship doesn't appear to have taken damage, just the one engine is giving off.
It's leaking its drive plasma, but that's not unusual for a ship that has sustained overuse or has been forced into a position where it couldn't stop.
Okay. Neshek's not going to be very patient. I want to get more information right now. How much access to the ship's computer can I get from here in Alpha Ops? Because I have a connection with them. Can I tunnel into their ship's computer via that connection, or I need something more?
You don't, because it's been left open. Oh. It looks like it's intentionally been left open for you.
Totally not sketchy at all.
Yeah, that... USS Campbell.
Commander Sasol here.
Would you like... No, that's not how I phrase this. Is the situation on your vessel safe enough to send an engineering team for inspection?
Negative.
USS Campbell, please provide details on the situation of your vessel.
Viral incursion.
Oh.
Be a second
Alright,
contact.
we're talking to medical again.
Shit! Fuck off.
I guess we can tell engineering to go back home.
Yep. Unless you're going to have them wear EVA suits and go over.
Let's wait until we hear from medical first. I will tell Campbell to stand by and notify Apricity, and I guess since I know Apricity's not there, the second officer in medical and the captain immediately.
Yeah, because the captain was pretty much on his way with Apricity.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dr. Hale.
You will be momentarily receiving a site-to-site emergency medical transfer of 98 personnel. These have been flagged as needing emergency medical assistance and are virally contagious.
Isn't there a quarantine thing that they would be
Yeah,
put
you can
into?
Neshek can actually
Yeah.
give the orders just as she's immediately responding through, and there is a procedure going through.
Yeah, I'm sure we have quarantine procedures. I just need to let medical know before we have a viral outbreak on the station.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm about trying to get sick today.
The worst thing probably
I'm going to notify security as well.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that's part of the medical protocol for establishing quarantine. The situation has gotten too weird too quickly for me to not tell. I guess Aleska is the security officer, or is it Corporal West?
I am in no position of authority, and that was part of the point.
You got it? Okay, then I would be notifying Aleska, I suppose.
Aleska here, go ahead.
Security, we've received a vessel, the USS Campbell, dropping out of extremely high-speed warp. We're currently in the process of performing an emergency medical transfer of 98 of their personnel into this medical sickbay. According to the initial responses I'm getting from their acting captain, there appears to have been some type of viral outbreak.
Hearing that...
I'm in the middle of collecting... Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Hearing that, Aleska will have her security detail for Alpha Ops to the sick bay in full hazmat gear.
Okay.
I mean, I figured the captain didn't close his comment, so he heard that too.
Yeah, some of the Gamma Ops that is still there. The
captain was gone. The captain was gone by now.
But for the people that are still there, or just hearing that, the major actually does pipe up. Is there anything I can do?
Not right now. Have you been medically cleared yet?
I have been part of the field doctor.
You're a field doctor?
My previous host was, but I think some of the skills are transferable.
Yeah, but have you been medically and mentally cleared by Chief Medical Officer yet?
He has not.
You can't do anything until you get cleared. I can't help. I can't have you around what could be a viral outbreak right now. Maybe once you get cleared, I will let you know. But right.
I understand. And then the worst part happens.
Oh no.
As the
Shit.
final transport happens. Someone that does not look like they are part of Starfleet. It is
Shit.
a rather short Bajoran woman. Probably doesn't stand much taller than maybe 5'5" or 5'6". Athletic features for sure, but is dressed in a lot of civilian attire, accompanied by a human Bajoran, you're guessing, probably 12, 13 years of age.
Oh god. What's the name of the woman? Well, both of them anyway. In that case.
Respectfully, Captain.
No. This is all. That's my question. My question was out of character. My question just that was out of character because I need to know. So, I need to know the names for my notes.
Oh, the name wasn't given.
Oh,
we don't know yet. They just got here.
That's why.
Well, all of you look like you've seen a ghost. So, what did I just beam into?
Clarification: is this still at the Gamma Ops receiving pad, or
no? This
is this in the medical bay?
This is the.
This is in medical. Oh shit.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I've lost the thread. I thought we were still in Docking Bay 1.
They are still in... No, not Docking Bay. You are in the transporter room.
They have docked in Docking Bay 1. We are in the transporter room receiving the people from the first ship, not the viral infection ship.
This is all happening within, like, a minute's time.
Oh, shit.
So you are still in the transporter room.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I after she says that, Apricity is going to chime in. Respectfully, Captain, I think that it would be better if you stayed here and dealt with this while I went to see our second ship on board. I'll keep you constantly updated, but this probably requires the captain's touch. While respectfully, you aren't exactly going to be the most useful in a medical emergency?
No, it doesn't mean I can't get questions asked, but I've got this feeling that Aleska is probably on their way to medical, so I can probably just get my answers from them.
And Aleska has donned the full Starfleet hazmat suit.
Yeah, so Aleska can give me my answers. I'll just stay here and make sure Gamma Ops is and deal with Gamma Ops integration. And then after that, I'll probably just make my way to medical and just wait outside.
As I've beamed into a crisis.
And I look at this woman and who might you be?
Vice President Riza Vasia.
Ah, shit. Okay, give me a second. I'll try not to scream. Alright. Well, Vice President, what brings you to Horizon Station on this day?
Well, I was assigned as President is busy with the whole of the United Federation of Planets, and I was given jurisdiction of its more outer regions, i.e. Horizon Station.
Well, I am Captain Phillips of Alpha Ops. I welcome you to Horizon Station. I would give you a tour, but as you can see, and as you heard, I'm kind of hands deep in the middle of a situation here.
Apprise me of the situation.
Well, I'm in the middle of prepping. I'm integrating the new Gamma Ops crew since we have a new crew now for that ops, and the USS Campbell has returned, and it looks like they're leaking plasma. And 98 of their 200 crew, when they left the station, need immediate medical attention. I've sent my chief medical officer to sickbay, and my chief of security, who's also my XO, is going to go and get some questions answered. And after I was done here, I was going to go to medical, but that's going to wait because I can escort you to where you need to go.
I can find my way to the civilian corridor. You're going to have to work on bullet pointing.
Well, yeah. I'm better where I'll work on that.
Unless you have anything to do, Captain, I suggest you go to your operating crew.
My crew is currently busy. I'm overseeing Gamma Ops integration, basically.
Gamma Ops will perform just fine. Go support your crew.
Yes, ma'am. So I will walk with Apricity to medical.
Okay. You do arrive at medical, and it is a sight to behold because a huge portion of it has been cordoned off to avoid any potential problems, and what you are seeing, Apricity, when you arrive, as Dr. Hale has been in the middle of things here, trying to scan, and it's like going for certain treatments, and it is just not working. Seems like any hypospray, anything that's being delivered, just through what she is trying to do, is unresponsive. It is not working.
Well, what's the actual situation? Like, what are these people sick with? Is it anything we've seen before?
Apricity, why don't you make me a reasons medicine check with a difficulty of 4?
Okay, 1 second.
No momentum. Good grief.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm an android. Can I stack positronic brain and augmented ability? That seems busted. It's okay if you say no to that.
That sounds so busted.
No, I'm not gonna let that stack. I will let you use one or the other, though.
That's what I figured.
I mean, it makes sense because that was a busted thing.
You can, but one of you can also use computer's medicine of Horizon Station 2.
Who wants to be the station?
Someone has to. I think I might do it once I pull up the sheet. Yeah, once I pull up the character sheet.
Does the emergency medical hologram talent of Horizon Station, is that literally just Apricity?
No, that's a second.
I'm not a hologram.
Right, you're not a hologram.
The medical hologram can be activated. It's just to assist in.
I'm kind of doing its job for it, but like, I'm not a hologram.
A hologram is just a slightly different version of Apricity. Apricity has a teenager AI.
It's a backup.
Don't say it's a backup, because then it's going to be jealous that you're the one in the physical body walking around. And you're going to get hijacked by your evil emergency medical hologram self. We're going to have to deal with that.
accept this.
Please do not give our GM.
I am fine with that. Yeah,
I will never not give
the
GM.
session.
Alright, Faye.
I'm sorry.
buddy.
I am looking through. I was looking through my talents because I needed to actually read the difference between the two.
What am I rolling?
You
For
are
the ship.
rolling for Horizon Station. You are rolling computer's medicine.
Okay. Let's see. To 17, so I need to get under a 17. Lovely. Or get a 17.
That still works.
That still works.
I literally, when I rolled, I literally landed on a 17. Okay.
Okay, so that is the one success. So then you just need to cover 3 more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I am using my positronic brain for 1 success, and then I rolled a 12 and an 8. That's versus a 16, so that is 3 successes for me.
Okay, that's all you need to total it out. Alright then. As you're looking through, and you're going through different patients, and you're noticing, quite notably, the people that are being affected, there isn't a single enlisted personnel or, officer. It all seems to be affecting the cadets. But at first there doesn't seem to be any commonality. Some are experiencing, rapid arrhythmia, lung failure, lung failure here, or liver failure. None of these make sense. Because it's happening, a disease should have a consistent form of a system. It shouldn't be randomly placed. And you really have to dig to find this particular, terror. And what is more alarming is that it is affecting them. In the earlier, 2370s, way out in the, Delta Quadrant, USS Voyager encountered a species that was consistently ravaged with a particular type of disease. And this has a lot of similarities to it.
Alright. And for the people who...
thing I will give to you, because you did get this success, the fact that it affects just the cadets is really strange.
Okay. And since I'm not the most well-versed in Star Trek lore, what is the disease that ravaged this species? Does it have a name?
The phage.
Phage?
Particularly,
Okay.
something that happened when the USS Voyager had multiple run-ins with the Vidians, which were pretty much organ harvesters because they needed to be.
Okay, so it causes... So organ failure is a big symptom. What are the other big symptoms? Now that I know what it is and can sort of, like, pin together what symptoms are going on.
The Vidians found no cure for it, and to this day, likely still have not.
Great.
The worst part about it is this disease is incredibly adaptable. Whatever medicine the Vidians came up with, it just evolved with it. But something really still hangs with you, Apricity, and I think it would, is the fact that these are all Starfleet cadets. What's going on with the officers and the enlisted? They seem just fine.
Yeah. I'm going to send a message to Neshek. Because I feel like Neshek was the one that... Yeah, I feel like Neshek would be the one to contact for this. I will make sure to send it as a memo to Aleska, just so that I keep a member of the chain of command in the loop, basically.
Okay.
But I'm going to message Neshek and ask them to figure out if there was any sort of quarantine between the enlisted personnel and the cadets, and they are going to kind of wiggle around directly asking if Neshek can find out if the enlisted personnel purposefully infected the cadets. Because this is multiple layers of suspicious activity on top of each other.
Well, you can take that request as what you will.
Yeah, you can take that as you will, Paco.
Shit, I don't know how
Okay.
blunt or delicate you will be.
I mean, I was pressing the acting commander, Sokol?
Sasol.
Sosol. Okay, I wrote that wrong. I was going to press our acting captain, Sosol, for more details on the situation, specifically what happened to the not acting captain. So maybe I might get something.
So you'll
for you
probably
there,
get that, like halfway through. Yeah.
But I guess, the big questions I want from acting captain Sosol are, acting captain Sosol, if you could please provide a casualty report aside from the 98 currently in our emergency sick bay. Any other crew members who are, crew members currently active, wounded, and or deceased, missing. Particularly the status of the, what's the term for official captain? The official captain of the USS Campbell, who, could I have, brought up who's actually supposed to be in charge?
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay, that guy.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't need an actual name, I just want to know what happened to them.
I suppose it does seem a little suspicious, us warping in here and asking for that, but we had a power surge in the medical bay. The captain was down there at the time with our chief medical officer and a couple of crewmen, as we were trying to suss out the problem, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but for all intents and purposes, part of the med bay just exploded. The captain was too close to the blast, and the chief medical officer, well, she's... I'll let her know you called when she wakes up. The other two minor injuries. After that, we did what we could. Damage control, repair teams, everything seemed normal for most of the time. And then about 2 weeks ago, we had our first casualty. First real one. They just collapsed in the mess. The nurse that we have on at the time, and the third-year cadet that works along as their aide. It's like the interior organs just deteriorated over the course of several days. We tried doing long-range communications, but that explosion seems to have fried our long range, and our short range was the only stuff available to us. So it seemed, but the one thing that I have noticed, and I would like to speak to your superiors directly about it. I'm not comfortable sharing it, but there is possible signs of sabotage aboard my ship.
Understood, Commander. And just to clarify, you had mentioned previously that there were 215 crew members. How many are remaining? Not counting the 98 you just transferred over.
Not including the ones we transferred.
Not including the 98. Okay. Oof.
At a certain point, we had to be careful, and we can't store infected corpses like that, so it's not very traditional, and I'm very ashamed to admit it, but we had to get them off the ship.
I'm not going to nag him for breach of protocol right now. Understood, Commander. At the earliest possible time, please provide a list of all current personnel still remaining aboard the vessel, as well as the deceased, and those transferred over to our vessel. Stand by one moment. I will ring up... Oh, go for it.
Would they not have logs of all that?
That's why I'm asking. Well, I would have logs of just everybody on the ship. I don't know who specifically was infected or deceased or etc. That's what I want.
Yeah, if they've been keeping up on their logs, they might already have that compiled.
True, but that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah, gotcha. I misunderstood. Sorry.
I would, after that, loop in the captain and medical, and then I'll call Aleska and Corporal West up. I need to get a security perspective on this, given that there is, and notify them of the possible sabotage. I realize Aleska might be busy with the quarantine, because that's where you said you were going, but...
She would decontam before coming up to ops.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Corporal West is not a part of that, so Corporal West will be the first one to arrive.
I'm so glad everybody's giving me promotions.
Hey, at least you're not in hazmat suit.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Lance Corporal West reporting as ordered.
And just as you say that, Aleska will stride in with the suit helmet under one arm. But she doesn't say anything at this.
Gotcha. And I wish to inform you too of a potentially new disturbing angle regarding the current situation we found ourselves in. In my discussions with the acting captain, he believes that there's evidence of sabotage aboard his vessel. He was not willing to discuss it with me, but I wanted to get a security perspective on this, and I wanted to see if he'd be willing to speak with you, as I know the captain is currently otherwise engaged.
Understood. Can we do a life scan on board the ship?
Certainly.
They don't resist
I
any
will...
scans. scan, so you'll be able to see the full details of it.
Yeah, I'll do that scan, and then I'll also ring up the captain and tell him that I've got our security chief here to talk to about his concerns.
Basically, we know what the crew manifest was supposed to be when they went out. I just want to see if there's not a hitchhiker on that ship.
Your scans, you're not entirely sure if this is more comforting or more disturbing, but everything is nominal. There is nothing, like there's no hitchhiker, there is no nothing for that to indicate that. And you're not sure whether if that's like, oh, that's a relief, or if that's even more worrisome.
Aleska is now visibly frowning.
And question before I make my way to ops. I thought I would go straight to ops at that point. Was that the vice president of the
Vice President of the United Federation of Planets.
Thought so. Oh, shit. So I make my way to Alpha Ops, and I say, hey, because I'm still, like, I'm all business, but it's
trying to still work your head around that.
Yeah, the fact the vice president just told me off. Yeah, okay. So, okay. What are we looking at?
The, on the, like, hollow view, the acting captain is kind of standing quietly. They're clearly muted until given the permission to inform and talk.
So I'm looking to Neshek. Like, I know Neshek's been doing most of the talking. Alright, so Neshek, what do we got?
According to the information we have so far, Campbell was doing its routine activities when there was a power surge in the central core, which damaged their medical bay. The captain and chief medical officers were currently in medical bay. The captain didn't make it, from what I understood, and the chief medical officer is in critical condition and non-responsive. 2 days after this, they began reporting casualties amongst crew of unspecified and unknown organ failure, at which point they, since the explosion also damaged their communications, they made as fast as they could over to us.
I'm just glad
the captain has also indicated concerns of possible sabotage aboard the vessel and was waiting to discuss it with yourself and security personnel.
Right. And of course the vice president of the United Federation of Planets decides to come to Horizon Station. And I said that out loud. To gauge their reaction and the fact that I needed to say that out loud.
Aleska raises an eyebrow. Should she be on Earth, sir?
Well, according to her, one point, this is possible. The president's busy. They send her.
There wasn't like some email we all missed where it's like, remember the vice president coming for...
No. Nope.
I will send a message to our civilian counselor, or counselor, contact, coordinator,
consultant,
representative.
Yeah, just send it. Yeah, send it to her. Let her know that the vice president is here. And nobody was informed. I don't think even the admiral knows that she's here. Which reminds me, after this, I need to talk to the admiral. But anyway, back to business. Alright, let me talk to him, Neshek.
Alright, I'll unmute the...
Before we
Never mind,
unmute them.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly were their orders before...
Wasn't it doing a routine science mission?
You would know this. It was a simple, like, routine, like, science survey followed by a slight contact mission with another Federation starship. Other than that, it wasn't anything It effectively was survey supply run. It wasn't anything glorious.
Okay.
Might I suggest that we also contact everyone they came in contact with?
Yeah, I agree with the Lance Corporal. Neshek, if you can, try to reach out to the on-second information of the other ship that they've reached out to. Let's try to contact them and see if they can give us their version of what happened.
I would also advise them as a warning, given that they have come in contact with viral vectors, but I'll trace back based off of their stated mission parameters and try to reach all of these vessels, but that may take some time.
You can just activate a computer program and that'll do that in the background.
Oh,
like
cool. Then I'll just do that. Never mind,
Yeah.
Captain. I lied.
Well, I mean,
like any good IT professional, I automated 90% of my job.
Well, I mean, it's a big station. It's got a lot of computers. Might as well use them. I mean, it's essentially like it's this undertone hum. It's like Apricity's white noise, like sleep therapy. Anyways,
so in that case, I tell Neshek to pretty much unmute him while that's running in the background.
Okay. Unmuted.
This is Captain Jackson Phillips of Alpha Ops at Horizon Station.
Thank you, Captain, for taking your time. I know this is a lot suddenly.
For something like this, you have my full attention. So, you said
that
those
was
reports.
Not my goal today.
I figured as much. So, you said there were. You think it might be sabotage aboard the Campbell?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have any proof or indication that this could happen? Or do you know who could do it?
It would take someone with a deep understanding of computer systems, or... It's gonna sound so bad coming out of my mouth. Or someone who is thoroughly integrated into them.
So you think it could be like you say it like that? So you think it could be like the emergency medical hologram, maybe?
No, the emergency medical hologram doesn't have a full range of a ship. It only has the med bay.
So you think it might be an AI or?
I've quarantined off the area where we discovered hints of possible sabotage. With your permission, I would like quarantined and hazmated off, as I know the procedure here. I can't leave the ship and you can't come on my ship without like certain precautions, but I would like a security personnel or someone well versed in computer analytics.
Captain, I'm already dressed in full hazmat. I just need to have my helmet here. Would you like me to go over to the ship?
Yes, and take a security detail with you. Make sure they're fully hazmat suited up.
Aleska will tap her comm badge. Aleska to security. Alpha Ops team to transporter room. Full hazmat.
You get signs of acknowledgement.
We will be over there momentarily, Commander.
Thank you, and I do appreciate what you're doing. I understand what you're doing isn't easy.
Yeah, it's not. But someone's got to do it.
Nothing of worth is ever easy.
This is true.
travel.
And Aleska puts back on her helmet and heads towards the transporter room.
Alright. Aleska, you are being prepped to beam over to the USS Campbell. Dr. Apricity, how would you like to go about dealing with this disaster?
Yes, okay. I have questions. First question. You said this was a disease. What type of disease is it? Is it something bacterial? Is it a virus? Is it a parasite?
This is definitely viral because of its rapid adaptability.
Okay. Ooh, do we know how it is? Is it airborne? Is it contact? How is it actually passed?
This one actually seems to be pretty deceptive. As you are able to be in this space with no, like, negative affliction to yourself, this is clearly contact-based. Doesn't seem like there's risk of airborne, which is, on one hand, a relief, and on the other, not.
There are 98 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And are they all, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase these questions. Did they get sick in waves, or are they all pretty much at the same stage?
Oh no, it's definitely waves. Some are far worse than others, and others seem like they're in that stage of like, no, I'm fine, it's just a cough or a cold or whatever, but, like, given the situation, you know it's not that, and a lot is going to come that's going to make it pretty terrible.
And I assume you said there's currently no cure. Are there any treatments at all? Like, is there currently anything just, like, for ease of pain and, hopefully this... Second question, how long does it normally take from infection to death? If you said there was no cure and this was eminently fatal.
This one seems fairly rapid. History of, like, phage in, like, the medical that you have access to, the Vidians only lasted as long as they do because they do some pretty despicable things to survive. Stealing organs from other species to keep their survivability, but even now, it shouldn't be going this fast. And you keep fixating on this detail. The cadets that range from age 18 to 22. But
it's exclusively the cadets in that age range? There are none outside of that?
None outside of that.
Okay. Could I request somebody outside of the quarantine zone bring me a vial of one of the, if anybody goes to the... I need a blood sample from one of the people who aren't sick, that were on that ship.
Okay.
I will request that from, I guess I'll send that to Aleska, since she's been the one I've been sending all my requests to so far.
Alright,
She can tell me to bother the captain instead if she would rather I bother the captain instead.
well, you will learn the detail of, fortunately or unfortunately, Aleska is headed over there, so.
Oh, well. Make sure you pick up a vial of blood while you're over there.
I will.
As well as what other... since Apricity is a doctor and I am not, is there anything else that would be useful to acquire in this situation from one of them if I am attempting to determine like if it's literally just that they weren't exposed to each other or if they have some sort of inoculation or something that would be preventing them from getting sick? That's what I'm trying to determine.
Okay, easy enough, you can just ask for that, I'll let you know the relevant details of that.
Okay.
I am going to, step away for just a second while I make whatever salesman is calling me, regret their living life, so give me a moment.
Excellent.
Send them to the boys did with us. Yeah, but yeah, that number was more important than the other ones.
I'm back. They cried.
Okay. I have two more questions. I apologize.
Okay.
First, have medical records from the Campbell been sent over yet?
They have, and all the, like, unfortunately, because of the limited, like, skill set that they had, it's a lot of triage. Like, it's damage control.
It's okay. It's actually a lead into my second question. We're trying to figure out if these people have encountered the Vidian as a possible vector. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're trying to figure out if they encountered the Vidian in the past. Are any of them missing organs, or do they have any signs of, like, obviously I'll ask them, like, straight up as I'm, scanning one.
No. No, they've heard of them, but everyone you talk to hasn't run into them before.
Alright, and nobody's got, like, mysteriously missing organs that they aren't aware of missing?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I will have more questions after I have the samples from the non-infected enlisted then. If you want to move to Aleska.
Right, Aleska then, as you beam aboard, with your security team, the acting captain, Lieutenant Commander Apricity, is not hazmated because at this stage, why? is kind of where his brain's at right now, and he definitely looks like someone who has not slept in a while.
Lieutenant Commander Aleska, Notasky, ready to help.
Thank you, Commander. If you follow me, I can lead you to the place that we suspect the sabotage may have occurred.
Security team on me.
You are led. Continue.
No, go ahead. I was about to say.
Okay. You are led to Deck 7, which is where the primary computer core is. Which, in any Federation starship, even older models, not easily accessible without the proper clearance. So that already strikes you as odd. But as he goes through the activation codes and to enter and such, the computer core looks pretty normal. Yeah, this is where we... This is where we found hints of the sabotage. Not the computer core itself, a particular program within the computer core. He types through and brings up like a slight hollow display, and you can see a program which, running standard systems, it doesn't seem that out of the ordinary until there is a particular stardate entry or a command. And the stardate entry command to be used is not this particular day, but a few weeks ago.
And Aleska is going to try and see if she can find who authorized this change. Basically, she's putting her hacking skills to work.
Alright. Then this is going to be Insight Security with a difficulty of 2. And I am going to add 2 points of threat to it as well.
And we do not have any momentum, do we?
We do not know.
Alright, so I'm just rolling 2, and I have to get less than 14 already. One success.
One success. Okay.
Oh, you said you dumped 2 points of threat into this? So I also got a 19, so that would be a complication.
Okay.
So that's 2 complications I've given you this game.
It's great. And you have, not received, the negative consequences from either of them. I'm gonna hold on to that complication as well.
Oh boy.
The file for this came up, this command, this is the one thing you can get out of it before it just, the data wipes itself, and it just looks like a normal string of code again. But the one thing you do catch out of this is this command was inserted at Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards before this ship even made its way to Horizon.
And Aleska has a very scowls at that. Someone at Utopia Planitia had it in for this ship.
Why would they have it in for this ship? We're a cadet training vessel. A basic science survey and supply workhorse. We don't do anything spectacular like that.
Indeed. It would make more sense to try and do like a Defiant or a Saber class, not... Nothing about this makes any sense.
We just train cadets. I don't understand. Why not target something like the Enterprise or something with more capital value?
Or notoriety.
Yeah. What does this ship have?
It may be the fact that the cadets itself were the goal. But our dear doctor on the station has requested blood samples from all the healthy members of the crew for a data set.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, Commander. There's just been a lot, and I haven't slept yet.
The joys of command.
I wasn't supposed to be in command.
Well, we don't always go where we want, Commander. I know that more than anyone.
I'll give you all the details I can to help speed and whatever this quarantine process is.
And she will have her... Aleska will have her security team fan out across the ship to try and get blood samples so that we can get them to the good doctor as quickly as possible.
Okay. Alright. Lance Corporal West at the, probably still waiting within Alpha Ops or nearby, given the current delicate situation. You actually do get a ping notification to report to Gamma Ops.
So I'm still with the captain, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Captain, it appears that I am requested over at Gamma Ops permission to leave.
Permission granted, but be ready just in case I call you.
Sir. And I will snap my heels and head off.
Okay. Like I said, Gamma Ops is your direct adjacent. And it takes a while to get there because Horizon Station is admittedly pretty large. But eventually you do arrive in Gamma Ops, unlike the standard like Starfleet decor, Gamma Ops is, its interior is a lot of like deep blues, grays, and blacks. Clearly, as it was mentioned, it was going to be part of the Starfleet Intelligence Circle, and it definitely looks the part. It doesn't have any of the hologram like display units, rather it has like the bluish like floating hollow screens as the well, you would be introduced to someone from your past, actually.
Uh-oh.
The Major, the Troll Woman, was someone present at your demotion. And definitely had at least a slight hand in it. but she's going through, reading reports and screens, where she turns, apparently have sensing your presence. Lance Corporal West?
Lance Corporal West reporting is ordered. I'm standing at attention.
You can be at ease, Corporal. Besides, this isn't another reprimand. This is a request for you to investigate, as you are more closely associated with Alpha Ops than our particular little circle here. I need you to look into someone for us. And they will they'll hand you a data pad if you'll take it.
Yep. I will take it, look over it.
It is the very detailed history of one Dr. Amira Hale.
The name doesn't sound familiar. Would I know, or at least me personally as the player, would Wes know this person?
Enough, yeah. Enough to know that they are Dr. Apricity's, like, chief second whenever Apricity is not around.
Oh, right, yes.
AKA the second person in charge of a massive hospital.
Nothing too complicated. Look in, report back. But given the delicate situation that all of you find yourselves in right now, well, we have reason to believe that there is possible involvement there.
Is there anything in particular I should be looking for, ma'am?
They are a suspected, and if we are correct, a Romulan Tel Shiar agent. Tread carefully, but you do have the blessing of Gamma Ops to use whatever force is deemed necessary, lethal or otherwise.
Is there a bioscanner in the... Because I don't remember what race this doctor is.
Human. Persian descent.
So yeah, does the station have a bioscanner of sorts?
Yeah.
That would be my first stop, actually.
Okay.
Just to confirm. Because I'm guessing if this is meant for intelligence work, they're going to have a different and separate scanner system that's probably untouched. And I would like to scan that doctor to confirm that they are in fact human.
Alright, well, you're gonna have to get into Horizon Medical. That's the biggest problem there.
We are currently in a quarantine.
But the device you are given for scanning is something a little bit more discreet. Rather than a typical tricorder, it is about the size of an Earth quarter, and you just press it and it'll give you a small display read.
Oh. Yeah, I thought maybe there was something on the ship that I could have used.
Station-wise, if you were just to ask the station, it doesn't bring anything up.
Gotcha.
We can supply you with smaller espionage-based tactical gear, if that would be needed.
Given that they're currently in quarantine, it might make it a little difficult initially. What sort of equipment are you offering, ma'am?
Concealable tactical tricorder, as well as I am authorized to allow you to use a standard Type 8 plasma pistol, concealable through nanotech. Do keep in mind it doesn't have a stun setting.
Of course, ma'am.
And given that this op is discreet, there is a second comm badge. Similar to yours, but it's rather than the like gold and the silver overlay, it's kind of like this faded out gunmetal and kind of dark black hue to it.
You say that the scanner is about quarter sized?
About, yeah.
Should be easy enough to hide this in a hazmat suit right at my finger. As I'm balancing it right on the edge of my finger itself.
Well then, the sooner we get this over with, the better. If nothing comes of it, well then, it'll be intelligence's first time of saying that we're wrong.
Very well, ma'am.
In Lance Corporal West, I do hope you understand. Discreet means the rest of your operating crew need to know. They don't.
Understood, ma'am.
You're dismissed.
Ma'am. And I will click my heels and head off.
Okay.
First stop is going to be getting a hazmat suit. Second stop is going to be relieving at least one of the other security people that are already there, if they're not inside itself.
Alright,
Ooh, actually, if there's nobody inside, then I will just straight up go inside with the hazmat suit on and the scanner at the inside of the ring finger glove.
Okay. Not hard to do whatsoever, actually. Given the chaos that is happening, security is a measure for sure. But but this is like one of those really critical like health junctions, so that is the primary focus. The security helps to honestly keep people who are not supposed to come in out. But hazmat, and you have the particular black and greens of a Starfleet Marine, so I mean, why not? You can definitely see the nurses, the various doctors, Dr. Apricity and Dr. Hale. They're both in Apricity's medical office right now. Kind of wargaming the doctorate practice right now, because this is a trial that they really were not prepared for.
Just saying, they literally they literally developed immunotechnology that we couldn't even comprehend of in the core galaxy. I'm sorry, that was a Star Wars. That was a Star Wars phrase, not a Star Trek phrase.
Whoopsie.
Lance Corporal West.
Bam.
Can we do anything for you, soldier?
With respect, I'm a Marine. I earn the title. I am not a soldier. I am assessing the situation here, as is per my orders.
Understandable.
Luckily, we haven't had any, Luckily, we haven't had anybody that appears to be protesting the quarantine much. They all seem to understand that there's a reason why they're not allowed in the rest of the station.
Oh, God. Got a little meta there. Anyways.
He's security! Apricity figured that's what he'd be interested in. She doesn't know, they don't know he's here to spy.
You do understand, ma'am, I will have to be making rounds.
Of course. Feel free.
So, I will go ahead and start doing rounds, but I will pass by where they're currently working to click the scanner when I'm right by the doctor I need to scan.
Dr. Hale is currently... They wargamed their little situation, figured out, the one that they keep coming back to is the age variance and the fact that it's affecting cadets. That's the one thing that is bothering them, for sure, that they keep pointing out.
Until we get those samples back, there's no way to confirm why that's happening. Unless, yeah, I can't think of any way that we could confirm without doing all kinds of immoral shit.
Oh, there's your problem.
But you, Lance Corporal West, as you do make that scan pass, it is somewhat close proximity, just given the size of it, but I mean, you just need to be within 10 feet, which isn't too hard to do.
Yeah, so I probably even clicked it as I was in the same room as them, having this conversation, before walking around medical, taking everything in, before going through the proper decon procedure. So that'll probably take me, 5 to 15 minutes to do the walk and then get deconned?
Yeah, roughly.
Alrighty.
After you unhazmated and all of that, and look to your scanner. Confirmed.
I will immediately find a room separate from everyone and everything and talk to the major.
Mrs. Major Von.
Confirm, ma'am.
I appreciate your quick uptake and methodology. I'll have a small team of Makos confront them in a bit.
Understood. Is there anything else for me, ma'am?
Not currently. Just keep the other comm badge on you.
Understood. If you'll excuse me, I have other duties to attend to, and I will immediately click off the badge.
Okay. that is all happening in various areas. Lieutenant Commander Neshek and Captain Phillips, you are doing, like, exposure tracking to see where the Campbell has been in contact with. The Campbell has only been in contact with one other Federation starship. The which one was it? The USS Malibu, which is a Cali-class ship. However, that ship has been in contact with 3 Klingon ships, 1 Andorian, and 2 Ferengi ships after that. And then those ships have been in contact with at least 1 other ship, so it's been a nightmare.
Yeah, well, that's contact tracing. I guess we can actually focus on ships that had actual personnel transfer, not just, we rang them up on the phone. Like, personnel either, from the Campbell to them or them to the Campbell, and focus our time tracing those contacts rather than chasing down everybody they legitimately talk to.
As for Aleska returning after what was probably a couple hours, there were quite a few blood samples from various enlisted officers that have volunteered for that.
She will have 2 of her security team take those blood samples to the good doctor, and then she'll go directly to Captain Phillips. Permission to speak privately with you, Captain.
Captain, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I know that I say something and I'm muted. Hopefully. So the captain will nod and point to his ready room.
Once inside, she'll kind of lean on the desk to talk to the captain when she's in front of the desk and go, apparently there was sabotage in the code in the computer core, and whoever did it at Utopia Planitia itself.
So it started from oh boy.
Soul system, yes.
And it triggered now.
It would appear to be so. When I was looking at it, it wiped itself after a certain amount of time.
So there's no trace of who planted it.
Not on the ship itself, unfortunately. There might be records at Utopia Planitia, but we don't have anyone there right now.
Nope. Of course, this would happen to happen when Gamma Ops happened to call Lance Corporal West. This is terrific.
You wouldn't know about that.
No, they called for him. He was standing next to him when they called for him.
You're right about that part. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm talking about that part. So I'm saying that it's trying to make it a coin.
I had to ask permission to leave the bridge.
Yeah, he was with me when they called. So of course this happens when Gamma Ops call for the Lance Corporal.
If you would like, Captain, I have a couple of discrete sources that I might be able to use to investigate. It will take some time, though, for me to contact them and for them to investigate at the Utopia Planitia.
I look to my XO and I say, get it done.
I will have to call in a couple of favors, but I think this is important.
Yeah, this is very important. We got acts sabotage going on in Starfleet. I think this constitutes as a huge point right now.
Indeed.
Yeah, so after Aleska leaves, I will contact the Admiral to give her a heads up on what's going on and the fact that the Vice President is here. To see if she knew about it.
The Admiral, as you call, her holographic form displays in your ready room, looking a little tired and not portraying the dark gray kind of overhanging part of the uniform. It is 1 a.m. in San Francisco.
I know. I would never call you this early in the morning in San Francisco unless it was a major emergency.
Well, what is this major emergency, Captain?
I'm gonna break it down to you in a couple bullet points. Bullet point 1: the Vice President is here.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
The Vice President is here on station.
I'll have to talk to the higher admirals about that.
Yeah, we was never informed he was coming. 2, we have a viral outbreak on one of our ships. We lost half the crew on that ship. And 3, there's an active sabotage on that ship, coming from all the way from Utopia Planitia, all the way in the Sol system.
Are you sure?
It's been confirmed by my XO.
I'll take around here.
Yeah, I'm not happy. That's why I would never call you unless it was important. And I think this counts as an important point.
You can see her hand reach off the holographic display and grab the coat and attaching the Admiralty bars. Well, I guess I have a late night visit to Starfleet Command.
Oh, and bullet point 4, Gamma Ops is here.
I know the mission I gave you, but for the time being,
yeah,
Captain.
I'm putting that on hold right now. Unless this all ties together, then we got a bigger problem on our hands.
I agree, but until then, Captain, play nice. And then the beat cuts out.
I leaned back in my chair and I said, "Oh, I'll play nice. I'll play very nice with Gamma Ops."
Neshek, you are running through similar type of thing. Calling your civilian representative. You can hear a slight groan. The hair is a little bit disheveled.
Alpha Ops Comm Officer 2.
Do you know what time it is?
Do you know the Vice President is currently aboard Horizon Station?
I'm a little sleep deprived at the moment, so I'm just gonna pretend that I'm not exactly going to panic over that particular statement just yet. But no, I was not aware.
No one on station was aware. Coincidentally, Alpha Ops is currently dealing with another unprecedented emergency at the moment. I thought it best to inform you as our civilian representative of the presence of the Vice President.
I can't do anything about it right now, given the time on Earth where they would likely be located. I'll make a couple transmissions in the morning.
I understand. I merely ask that you update us whenever you can. Since we will be... course. Best of luck.
I have a former director.
Well,
of
Neshek would not
Starfleet
say best of luck.
Intelligence.
Neshek would just say bye.
I have a former director of Starfleet Intelligence. I'll ask her if she's heard anything under the wire. Find out. And then the screen just cuts.
Yeah. Trying to think. I would have been monitoring Aleska while her squad was taking samples, but I'm just going to spend time at that open port the Campbell has. I'm basically going to try to put it also in a quarantined environment, just a digital one, before I try to do anything else with that.
Okay. Like backing it up, essentially.
No, like making sure basically creating a separate environment for it within our network, so that way it's not actually connected to Horizon Station, especially given what the acting captain has told us about sabotage. What I don't know if Aleska reported to me about that, but even just the acting captain being like, yeah, we think there's sabotage. I'm creating a separate environment before everything I do with this.
Right.
Which means I can't use the ship's computers, basically. This would be just like another computer I have.
Alright, then, you know what? To dig a little bit, you can do an Insight Security Difficulty 2.
Insight Security Difficulty 2. I literally just said I can't use the ship's computers, but I still do have computer expertise, so that's a bonus D20. Said Insight Security?
Yep.
Does constantly watching apply here for difficulty -1 to detect danger hidden enemies?
Yes, actually it does.
Okay, that's -1 difficulty then. So this is actually difficulty 1.
Okay.
It's 2 successes. Did you spend threat? Because one of those is an 18.
I did not spend threat, because this isn't
Okay.
a super critical point. You're going through data and trying to figure out, because as with anything, even in the computers of old, as it were, deleting or wiping something doesn't mean it's really gone. And given your skill set and your particular, more niche skill set, it takes a bit of doing, but you are able to find what Lieutenant Commander Aleska basically lost. It's the string of code, and it's being inserted. And it looks like this was written in just going through backlogging, like, computer core access permissions as far back as you can go. Supposedly, one of the computer tech analysts, as it were, for inserting the core, is an Ensign Amira Hale.
Wait. Hale?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have access to Hale's service history, right? Were they ever a computer person? Like, this is Neshek thinking, because I would be like, I thought Hale was medical.
So, as far as, like, files that you can see, medical, yeah.
Okay. one other thing before I act on that piece of information, because I have incisive scrutiny, which is my favorite talent in any game ever. I want to try to pull if there is some type of footage or record of basically the moments immediately surrounding the power surge explosion. The inciting event, as it were. If there's any type of engineering data dump I can get. Even if it's just automated because their engineering might not have time to do any like full autopsy report, but even just something I can give our engineers so they can think about it. The
there's
black
not
box,
like
as it
any
were.
sort of there's no like cameras or anything. That's from a pretty archaic age when you have top of the line sensors. But one thing you are noting is the moments before the so-called incident, a lot of data being streamed. A particular note, it notes one of the cadets within this. It is a... Where are they? Give me one moment to find them. Cadet David Casret. He is a second-year cadet. However, there is some hidden, like, string code of interest into this particular individual.
Okay. I'm going to ask the captain to meet in his ready room, and then just... Well, the captain's already in his ready room, so I guess I don't have to wait for him, but as I'm going over to the ready room, I want to bring up...
Which you can...
Yeah.
Captain Phillips, you do hear the familiar just...
And I say, enter.
Captain.
Yes, Neshek?
Pardon the intrusion, but I believe I've uncovered some critical issues with regards to the USS Campbell.
I'm listening.
I've managed to obtain via going through several automated backup files another copy of the well, I don't know, Aleska found it, a copy of a code snippet injected into their primary computing core that appears to have sent it to be the causative factor in the power surge, which killed the captain and then is apparently responsible for this viral outbreak. Having traced it back, and software engineer responsible for it is one Amira Hale. I'm unaware.
Is she on Utopia Pranisha? As far as you know?
As far as my record search indicates, the only Amira Hale currently known as the one here on Horizon Station as Second Medical, who has never served as a software engineer in any capacity.
So somebody stole her name. So we had a case of identity theft on top of that. On top of what's going on. Oh, boy.
Additionally,
I will point this out for you, so to not
Oh.
thinking the total of identity theft. The code that you located is 3 years old. So the command was put in 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was put in 3 years ago, but still by Amira Hale, and it doesn't line up with her given service history.
So we have another puzzle that doesn't seem to fit.
Additionally, in doing preliminary analysis of data surrounding the explosion, moments prior there was a large amount of data streamed out of the USS Campbell concerning various personnel, and including one Cadet Daniel Cosrin, who was flagged of interest. It was Daniel Cosrin, correct?
Casret,
damn it. Daniel Casret. I was going to contact security about Amira Hale and ask that she be detained in the meantime while I search for more evidence. In addition, I was going to contact medical to see if they have this cadet Kazret in sickbay.
And if they do, we can detain him too, as a person of interest.
I don't necessarily know. Yeah, correct. And if Kazret is not in sickbay,
then he's on the Campbell.
First the list of the deceased and that on the Campbell.
Right.
Additionally, and this is actually interesting because this goes against one of Neshek's values, technically. I have no evidence to suggest this, but I would also request that a security team return to the Campbell and conduct a thorough search of their medbay.
Well, Aleska is doing something, but I can pull her off real quick and have her go back with her security team.
I feel the need to explain myself prior to this, given that, again, I have no evidence for this fact, but, well, all of my evidence is rather circumstantial for this fact.
But given the targeted nature is all we got right now, so...
Given the targeted nature of the explosion, I believe it was designed to release something in medbay that may or may not have been there with the foreknowledge of either the captain or the chief medical officer. In short, I believe this is an organized bioweapon attack. But I have no evidence to support this.
My God. It's circumstantial at best, and that's all we got right now. We don't have anything else to really go on. So if I send security team back, what exactly will I be looking for?
For depending on how long it has been stored, they would be searching for evidence of long-term storage mechanisms for this, so it could be released at a later time by a forceful explosion.
Right. So
These are high-pressure tanks.
So I will ping Aleska, because I figured that Aleska's probably still out in ops, unless she went to her quarters to make that call.
Well, Aleska's made the calls. It's going to take a while for anything to come of them.
Right, so I'd pick Aleska to have her come to my ready room so Neshek can explain to her what I need of them to do. What I need them to look for.
And Aleska will do that and listen very attentively.
Okay.
Do you think that this was going to always be a deliberate sabotage, or were they anticipating a battle scenario?
I do not even have circumstantial evidence to posit an answer to that question. I must confess I am uncomfortable enough to send you into such a dangerous situation with only circumstantial evidence.
I have gone into situations with less than that, so it's not anything unfamiliar to me. And Aleska will assemble a second security team, this time one that is more engineering based.
Okay. As you are playing musical ships to station, Dr. Apricity, you are fixating and trying to, given the stuff that has happened, you've managed to, at the very least, slow down the pace a little bit. Dr. Hale does come up and look at each of the cadets and... Doctor, I have a really risky, strange, terrible idea.
What is it?
Well, we know the USS Voyager is 125 light years away, so it would take a while for them to get back here, even at maximum warp. However, they are officially in the Delta Quadrant. Now, this is asking them to risk a lot. But if we could find access to a Borg sphere or probe, we could utilize the nanites, reprogram them, and they will be as quickly able to adapt just as fast to the virus, thus net zero. Like I said, it's risky. It might not even be a good idea.
I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a terrible idea, and I would nix it immediately. But luckily for you, you can go over my head and ask Captain Phillips.
Let me know when I call Chief Medical to let them know that Hale's going to be detained.
I could, but I would like to have your permission to proceed with organizing something like this. And about now is when you get that.
Station opposite Chief Medical.
Commander Apricity.
Commander, a security team is already en route, but I believed it was best to give you a bit of a heads up. Your second, Amelia Hale, is being detained as a person of interest in the Amira Hale is being detained as a person of interest in the sabotage of the USS Campbell.
It's okay, I have an in-ear communication.
It's the computer. I don't...
Yeah.
Like... It's not a badge like everybody else's.
I also don't talk when I'm responding. Like, if you're standing next to me while I'm talking to Captain Phillips on the other side of the ship, you don't see me talking to Captain Phillips. But...
The Neshek is more comfortable with that because Neshek probably also does your, like, normal computer maintenance stuff, honestly.
I bet that's awkward. You're like the doctor's
a little bit.
Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but thank you, Neshek. Or I'm sorry, Apricity would use your rank every time. I just personally forget it because I have the memory of a goldfish.
Hand it to Commander.
Yeah. Thank you for informing me, Commander Neshek. I will be sure to stay by her until security arrives. Within reason.
After which you... Because it's kind of like a conversation and then you're just stopping for a second, like just blue screening, like standing still.
If I'm not capable of multitasking, then yeah, I'm totally blue screening on her.
Everything alright?
You see, guys, we have a problem here.
What's the problem?
Could you speak with me in my office, actually?
Of course.
I will bring her to my office, and I will close the door, and I will ask her to take a seat.
Okay. She'll do so.
Dr. Hale. I would like to... Do I know the approximate ETA of the security team?
Yeah, you're interlinked with station, and you're gonna notice something a little awkward. There are 2 security teams.
Fuck!
Yeah, because West is also... Okay, then I'm running on borrowed time, so... Dr. Hale, I apologize for this question if it seems relatively abrupt, but could you tell me about your past with the Campbell?
The Campbell, the ship here. I mean, I don't know I do the checkups, I guess.
You've done the checkups in the past?
Well, what are we referring to?
Specifically, we're talking to... You gave me the... You didn't give me the date.
I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you anything except your second in command is about to get fucking arrested.
Yep. For sabotaging people's lives. And then asking about the Borg. Hale, why did you want to contact the Borg so much?
I don't.
This was a
I said it was
very
a risky
suspicious
idea,
time
and I said it
to
was a
bring up
stupid
your
idea.
risky idea.
It is I don't think it's that suspicious, given the context of her situation, Doctor. I am laying out options. It is a last resort. Believe me, I don't want to do that if we can help it, but some of them are already on their way out. Some are about to get worse, and some don't know how bad it's going to get. We have a limited amount of time.
Hale, I would like to ask you this question again, with you knowing that soon you probably will not be able to speak with me directly. Why are you so interested in the Borg, and what was your connection with the Campbell?
Why are you asking?
Because on the slightest off chance that you aren't purposefully infecting people or committing
Purposefully infecting people.
immoral experiments, I would like to help you, but those are the conclusions that I am drawing.
Really?
I'm sorry, I'm stuttering.
Purposefully infecting people. I am wearing a Starfleet uniform. I am wearing a
You
medical
are.
badge.
You are.
And I've taken an oath.
And I would like to believe you.
Then why don't you?
I don't know what to believe right now, which is why I am asking you these questions. I want to know what I can find out before this situation escalates further.
What situation?
Apricity just holds her hand in the direction of the rest of the hospital.
I was at Utopia Planitia a few years ago to train some cadets. That's it.
And that was the extent of your... what's the word? Not relation, but, association with the ship, sorry. That's the word I was trying to think of.
I mean, I helped install some of the newer computer system for the medical bay, but other than that, nothing.
Are there any cadets currently in the med bay or currently stationed on the Campbell that you have any prior acquaintance with? Or enlisted officers, actually?
I was only there for a couple of weeks, Commander.
Scrolling through her personnel file, she has there's nothing to dispute this claim, right?
Nothing to dispute. It seems pretty normal.
And there's nothing in the Borg in her file or her past research papers. Like, it doesn't look like she's done any particular study into the Borg that would lead to her randomly bringing them up, quote unquote randomly. Other than the fact that we're on the edge of the Delta Quadrant.
Nope, not even remotely.
How does she look? Does she look like she's genuinely just offended for her professional credibility, or does she look like she is being caught in a lie?
She looks offended, kind of. For definitely, like, questioning her medical intent, as well as the way you have approached the questions has made her apprehensive, because now she doesn't know what to expect.
I'm trying to ask the questions in a specific way to get a specific vibe. I hope it's gonna work out. But for now, at least, I will continue to ask her about her... I'm going to continue to ask her about her past, stations and, primary career events, as well as any basic research topics that I can pop up. I am trying to tie them into the current topic as well as I can, but I'm mostly just stalling for time until the security officers arrive.
Does someone want to roll me just a flat d20?
I will.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, there are still security in the quarantine zone.
Yes.
That aren't. So, okay. I won't further question that.
It was a 4, Fate.
I got a 2. So, unfortunately, Aleska, your security personnel does not arrive first.
Oh boy.
There is a knock on the, not a knock, but like a door chime into your office, Apricity.
I'll open the door if it doesn't open on its own.
Okay. Well, it's waiting for permission to enter. It's kind of that.
Well, yeah, I meant I'd hit the button on my desk is what I...
It's just one of the nurses. Doctor, there's a...
Yeah, you can send them in.
Alright. And there is actually, stepping in is the troll woman you saw earlier, and a human woman. Both are wearing the kind of standard, like, darker tone Starfleet uniform, but instead of, like, red, gold, or, like, blue, it's just kind of a deep slate gray color to them. Doctor? I hope we're not interrupting anything.
Only a major viral outbreak.
And we can take this from here.
I gesture for them to proceed.
Mira Hale looks very confused, actually. What is happening here? We can talk out of Horizon Medical, Dr. Hale, but For now, you need to come with us. Can I at least... I have... patience. Major speaking up. Well... let me be more frank then, Dr. Hale. This is not a request. She kind of looks back to you. Doctor, what's going on?
Unfortunately, on the Campbell, they found some information that implicates you. Hence my questioning. You are currently being detained, and I'm going to talk to Captain Phillips about the next steps. But ultimately, I'm not security, so I gesture for the Trill, who I know isn't security, despite the fact that I was told security was coming, so Apricity's very confused.
Yeah.
Fucking 2 minutes later when Aleska shows up, hey, we're here to detain Emma Hale. Fuck!
The only look that Dr. Hale gives you as she's kind of being let out is... she honestly feels pretty betrayed, is the kind of look she gives you, but... that's the last you see of that.
Bro. Yeah, I got a job. I am following procedures, and I am going to attempt to ensure she is treated fairly, but I'm not gonna stop her from getting arrested.
About... maybe 5-6 minutes later, you get another door chime at your office as you're trying to navigate through what just happened in your office.
Enter.
It is a security team.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I assume Aleska would be with them, or maybe not.
Yeah, you would have been back from the Campbell by this point.
Where is she, Doctor?
I wasn't informed that 2 separate teams would be arriving. I'd sent her with the Trill. Gamma Ops.
Computer, locate Dr. Hale.
There was no response.
Am I capable of directly asking the computer, or am I blocked off?
You can ask the computer, but the computer has essentially taken the initiative somehow within the next 5-6 minutes of this occurring. That there was just some, figuratively speaking, there was some nice red tape on that file.
What's Aleska's rank again? My apologies.
Lieutenant Commander.
Oh, you're both Lieutenant Commanders. Okay. Commander Aleska. Could I make a request?
You may indeed.
Could I ask a question would probably be more accurate.
Yes, Doctor.
Can you go and ensure that my doctor is treated fairly in whatever nonsense is about to happen? I can't break away from the hospital, but I have a bad feeling.
Do you know who took her? Oh wait, you did tell me that. It was the and I'll ask the computer where the major is.
Yeah. Gamma Ops isn't hidden.
Aleska will go to Captain Phillips first.
Just before you leave, Apricity will ask one final thing. Just ensure that this isn't A witch hunt.
Indeed, we've had more than enough of those in our history. And Aleska will go to Captain Phillips and inform him of what's going on.
I'm sure for you, Captain Phillips, it's just been, you've been getting reports, you've been getting various calls from different captains trying to manage things, and it's just one thing stacked on top of the other continuously. And then you get, like, probably for the 19th time in the past 20-something minutes, like a door chime.
Who is it?
Aleska, Captain.
Enter.
And she enters.
And you see his eyes visibly twitch at this point because he's been knee-deep in reports and calls from other captains.
Apparently, Gamma Ops has taken our suspect.
Oh, so Gamma Ops decided to stick their nose where it doesn't belong. This is our case.
Indeed. I think that it would be better for you to deal with them.
Oh, I'm about to deal with them. I need to get away from paperwork.
Oh, Dr. Apricity has requested that we try to make sure that our suspect, the good doctor, is treated fairly because intelligence has been known to skirt the line. And if you know, and we also have Section 31 to deal with.
Right, so hence why I'm going to handle this personally. I'm going to get her to Alpha Ops so she can be protected, and we can question her without Gamma Ops having to dip their hands in it. So I get up, determined. I still a little bit twitching from all the paperwork, and I go to the turbo lift. I'll take me to Gamma Ops.
Alright, just for a quick clarification for you, Apricity, the Major is not a higher rank than you. When it comes to equating the two ranks out between Starfleet proper and the Starfleet Marines, the Major is pretty much an equivalent to a Lieutenant Commander.
Wait, I outrank her?
Yeah.
You could have said something to stop this whole mess.
In certain
the more we know.
situations, it also depends on the
it's also
authority.
it's kind of a security matter, and I am not in security, so I'm not sure how exactly that would shake out in terms of me directly refusing.
It would have been a huge pissing match between I outrank you, well, this is the situation where I outrank you, well, this is actually a medical situation where I outrank you.
And it would go in circles, yeah. But the Gamma Ops, as I described earlier, it's a lot of like slate gray, black, and like deep bluish hue with various hollow screens and different operators. And then, because you do attain a fairly high rank, there's no difficulty getting through into the op station for you, Captain Phillips. But Commander Herman Kotz is looking over what looks to be the file of Amira Hale before you stride in, probably visibly pretty pissed on a warpath.
Oh, Captain's on a warpath right now.
Can we help you, Captain?
Yeah, you can hand over Dr. Hale to me and Alpha Ops, because we was handling that, not you.
This matter of interest came across our desk in San Francisco a while ago.
We already had the information, was on our way to talk to Hale. When you and your operatives, your officers, decided to take it upon themselves to take her from me. So, as captain of Alpha Ops, Hale is under my jurisdiction and under my protection and under my questioning.
Unless
so I need
Federation threat, in which case my purview does outrank yours. In this case, it
Well,
does.
so right now that does not matter. We have more information than you do, and we need Hale. You can get her after we're done. I don't want table scraps. I want to talk to Hale and Alpha Ops with her file.
Captain, I'm gonna advise you, while you are in my op station, to take a breath.
Oh no, I'm not taking a breath. I've been knee deep in paperwork, and I kind of find that you guys are taking people that I want to question. That does not sit well with me. Don't know about how you would feel if somebody else took somebody who was questioning, but right now she is under Alpha Ops purview, so Alpha Ops has jurisdiction over her. You can get her when we're done. That sounds good to you?
Taps his comm badge. Major, interrogation's done.
I'm glad we can see eye to eye.
Keep in mind, you have her until this is cleared up.
Of course. Now, which way to your interrogation room?
We'll bring her to you. You can wait here. I don't need someone who is in an emotionally compromised state tearing through my operations station.
Oh, trust me, I'm usually not like this.
And you are a denizen of first impressions.
Well, you've been knee deep in paperwork as I've been for the past 19 minutes. Done with the viral outbreak and different cabinets reporting. Yeah, you'll be a little stressed out too.
Will we retrieve Lieutenant Hale from interrogation and confinement? Would you like to glaze into a file of our investigation and profile that we have compiled over the past 5 years?
Yes, I would, and I'd like a copy sent to Alpha Ops. So that way I can look at it and look at it again later.
I don't have that permission to copy it, but I do have the permission to show it in Gamma Ops to you. You're going to have to deal with a raw copy and your memory.
That's fine.
Lieutenant, the screen blurs up and you can see Amira Hale, just all the files, like childhood, all of this and stuff. And the more you're looking at, and just different portions of it and pieces, stuff doesn't seem consistent. Like, stuff seems like it's written as like a quick background synopsis and summary for the sake of being there. Amira Hale seems like she didn't technically exist until about 7 years ago.
So while I'm committing all this to memory, so basically from what I'm reading and what you compiled, she hasn't existed until about 7 years ago.
And we've took notice. Particularly, we took notice at the senior year of her supposed Starfleet Academy. So, you can understand how we've been tracking and how we're a little apprehensive about such things.
Yeah. I mean,
The only people that commit to this level of deep cover is the Tal Shiar.
you thinking she's a Tal Shiar spy?
We have our suspicions and our beliefs, and confirmed report.
Could make sense on the code we found.
Well, since we are in the business of sharing at this point.
You are right. We're in the business of sharing. Someone sabotaged the Campbell, and it's been implanted since Utopia Planitia. All the way in Seoul. And it was set up in medical on the Campbell. So, if she is a spy,
Then she could very well be responsible for your current predicament.
yeah. And if not, someone's setting her up.
I very much doubt she's being set up. She's very good at playing us.
You still have her interrogation file, so I guess you can take a look at it and see if there's something odd about it. Maybe she's hiding something. I don't know, maybe her facial features change when you mention certain things.
At this point, the small lift doors within the ops open, and there is Major Ron and Dr. Amir Hale, who looks pretty stressed. Doesn't look injured in any capacity, though hair is slightly disheveled, probably because there was a bit of screaming that was involved, probably. The doctor's yours until my superior says otherwise.
I nod and I say thank you, and I will escort the doctor to Alpha Ops.
As you're escorting. Thank you, Captain.
Don't thank me. You need to thank Dr. Apricity. She is the one who asked me to come to look out for you, and it's better if you're with us.
Yeah.
Plus, you still have questions for us. You still got questions to answer from us.
As you kind of stride into the Alpha Ops, is there any particular place you want to have this questioning?
I'm gonna have my ready. I have it in the conference room, and if Apricity is not busy, I was gonna have
Felicity is very
her.
busy.
Yeah, this is true. Well, in that case, I was gonna have Aleska, and I'll have Aleska join me. Unless she's busy too.
No, Aleska is probably in the later stage of wondering how the hell did this happen, effectively. But yeah, I could say this is probably an Captain, EXO, and Dr. Hale type of conversation right now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be in the ready. It's gonna be in my conference room.
Okay. So you're both here. What do you want to know?
And Aleska will present her with the evidence that we've gotten so far from the Campbell.
I'm sorry, just for my sake, is there any damning evidence against Hale other than her ident being used on the computers?
So she's being detained as person of interest because her name is attached to the code inserted that caused the reactor malfunction, and that doesn't line up with anything given in her listed service history. So it's not necessarily that she's being blamed for it, she's just extremely suspicious in that regard. So
yeah,
she's being
sorry,
detained
but I'm
question in that
asking
sense.
if there was any evidence other than the ident being used.
She was actually there at that time, too.
Yeah.
And she does have an explanation, even if it doesn't explain why it was used on that particular,
Her name's attached to it, she was at the shipyard,
yeah.
and
But she was installing medical equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like so that everybody knows what information they have, Apricity would have sent the audio files of that meeting with Hale to Aleska and Phillips. Okay, and Neshek. You're high enough rank. Sorry, West.
I'm lower rank than you are.
I'm used to this, so I mean I'm going back to my rounds until I'm needed further. So
yeah, that's fair.
Sorry, correction. You are Alpha Ops and West isn't. Is that better?
No. But anyway, the conversation recording plays out. What do you want me to say? I already said what I said.
Well, we don't know what you said to them.
I made a ridiculous suggestion, which immediately made me a target for suspicion.
And what was the suggestion?
Given that we are dealing with something that is similar to the phage and acts almost exactly like it, or is it, and it rapidly adapts to similar medical treatment, I suggested contacting USS Voyager that isn't too far out in the Delta Quadrant, though far enough out. It would take a while for it to get here at max warp. It would take a few days. However...
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Well, this is the idea that's pretty terrible, is we would have to use USS Voyager to scan, probe, find, or attract a Borg sphere or probe, and extract nanites, reprogram them, and use them to combat this modified phage.
Okay, now I can see why that's a crazy idea.
I already admitted it was a crazy idea. I said it was not a great idea.
But it was an idea.
It was an idea.
And there's nothing wrong with having ideas. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Well.
So my question is... No, you're just a person of interest, that's all. I mean, you're not being detained like you was in Gamma Ops. You're just a person of interest.
We can skip the soft vernacular suspect, right?
No, I'm saying person of interest because that's what you are. You're a person of interest. Because your name popped up at Utopia Planitia.
Yeah, because I was there for a time being. Maybe that's for a little bit. Final year. Installing medical equipment. That's it.
Well,
so
your authorization was used to insert this code, and she will show the doctor the code.
Yeah, that's a standard code that I use to activate automated medical treatments.
And then Aleska will show her the altered code that caused the explosion. Or at least we assume it caused the explosion. Along with video filed and stuff like that.
I didn't write any of this. I wrote most of it, not that, though.
So someone altered your code to be used as a weapon.
Respectfully, sir, no
A
shit.
trigger to start off a bomb, and they're placing you as the suspect. So someone is like I told them, someone is setting you up.
Yeah.
And we're gonna find out who it is, and clear your name.
I should be at Horizon Medical, helping.
And you know what? Since you're a person of interest, and you've been accused of someone's pretty much setting you up, I'm gonna have you escorted back to Horizon Medical. And if Gamma Ops has anything to say about it, they can come talk to me.
And Doctor, Apricity, it would probably be good to keep a watchful eye to make sure that Gamma Ops doesn't try to abduct her.
And if they try to, she'll just have them immediately call me. And I will come down with security and I will escort them out of medical. Because right now we ain't all the doctors we can get combating this phage. If it is the phage, we ain't all the doctors we can get.
Doubt part of the phage, but I don't understand what's going on with it. It's targeting cadets only.
That's not right. Cause I remember in the history files, when Voyager ran into it.
It's indiscriminate. It goes wherever
Exactly. But it's attacking cadets.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like this is.
Is there any way to determine in its DNA if it is synthetic or altered? There should be genetic patterns that determine that.
I mean, if we look at the genetic pattern, then we might trace it back to the source. Back to the source, we can clear your name and keep Gamma Ops from trying to pretty much hang you out to dry.
I'll go back to Horizon Medical. I'll even let a security detail watch me or something.
No, you'll be working with Apricity. The chief medical officer will work with you. So, yeah, the security detail is going to take you back, so that way Gamma Ops can't do anything.
Alright.
Yeah, because we need answers. And it's the only way to keep Gamma Ops off our backs.
Escorted back to Horizon Medical. It doesn't take you too long to hear from Gamma Ops, given that they are an intelligence circle, so they get privy and news to things a lot faster than you would think. But it is Major Ron.
Yes, Major?
I understand your need to be sympathetic, but given that they are a potential suspect and saboteur, are you out of your damn mind?
Well, after our talking with the doctor, come to find out that someone altered her code.
Or she could have claimed that.
Well, I will have my chief communications officer check that out. And this viral outbreak, it's synthetic in nature. Like somebody made it just to target the cadets.
Is that your theory?
It's what both Dr. Hale and my chief medical officer checked.
No, we haven't.
Apricity hasn't checked that yet.
Well, they're going to be checking to see if it's synthetic. If it's synthetic in nature, then someone is doing a serious biological warfare on Starfleet. And they've got a bigger threat on our hands than a doctor being framed. Or a possible Tal Shiar agent, if that's possible. So for right now, she's going to be under armed guard at Horizon Medical with my security team, inside and out, to protect the patients and staff, if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, they can take her down quickly. And if I'm right and she's been framed, or the phage is synthetic, then someone is setting her up to fail. And basically, he's trying to frame her for murder. If that comes to it.
Fine, work that angle, Captain. But if you're wrong, you'll be out of Starfleet.
And if I'm wrong, I will personally turn in my badge to the Admiral herself.
Yeah, you'll be doing more than that. And then the feed just cuts.
I want a drink, but I'm on shift. I want to contact the Admiral unless she's busy.
She's not.
Is she going to see the stress look on Captain Phillips' face?
Oh yeah, she's gonna see it. Oh, you look like you've had a shitty day.
Oh, my day is still going. On top of the fact that one of the doctors has been framed.
Framed?
Yeah, apparently her name popped up because Dr. Hale is being set up, framed, because allegedly framed in the sabotage of the USS Campbell. It was her program that was supposed to be used for automatic medical treatment. Someone has altered her code to be used as a trigger for a biological bomb that is targeting the cadets that was on the ship.
Was the uniqueness of the cadets?
It's the symptoms of the phage.
No. Wrong question, Captain. What is the significance of the cadets? Because if it's cadet targeted, then it means the cadets are the targets.
That's the thing. I'm thinking they're being targeted. By who? I don't know. Why? I don't have an answer.
Figure out the why, Captain. You figure out the why, you can figure out the reason.
I need to figure that out.
Work past the black tape that keeps on getting put in my face. I have never been stonewalled so fast about asking on the political avenue.
Well, on top of that, I had just been threatened by Gamma Ops to be moved from Starfleet, if I'm wrong in this.
Well, that would make sense. Gamma Ops is overshot by Fleet Admiral Jellicoe, so do be careful with that.
Oh, I am. And the fact that they took a person of interest, Dr. Hale, under my watch, I had to go to Gamma Ops, and I was not happy. That in fact they overstepped their bounds, and we was going to take her to Alpha Ops to have a little Q&A session and figure out what was going on.
Captain?
Yes, Admiral?
I'm going to hang up this holo feed now. I'll be there in 18 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything is gone.
Well.
You know enough of Admiral Dax's record, dealing with had dealt with the Dominion War as well as a Borg incursion in 2382. The Aventine is a ship that is not to be fucked with.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, the fact that they went over my head, and did that pissed off the Admiral. That's one thing you don't do is piss off an Admiral. So I'm gonna go out. I'm going to talk to Neshek, and I said, "Please tell me you found something."
Neshek.
Has anyone found Cadet Kazri yet?
You have,
Yeah.
actually. Cadet Kazri has a particular record. Not so much as far as interesting in terms of like cadet service or anything like that. That's pretty all standard. Fair. What is interesting is the family ties.
Oh.
The family ties is one Vice Admiral Kazrit who wanted to make a particular reform to Starfleet, something that isn't very common and wants to be more open to allowing it to happen, is the open welcoming and acceptance of species that are not within the Federation. Really, he is an admiral who is gunning for some very progressive ideals.
Oh, he's a speciesist.
He's the opposite.
That's even worse.
He's
He's trying to get non-Federation species to be able to join Starfleet.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, at this point for you, Neshek, that is cause. So now the question is who?
Well, and then a couple other things too. Where does Kazrit land in our alive, sick, dead?
Exactly. Where does he fall on that list?
Showing worsening symptoms, but not quite like in critical.
He got hit too.
That's honestly the worst part for him to be.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can't exactly question him right now.
Captain, I will defer to medical's opinion, but respectfully, now may be the only chance we get to question the cadet.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go down a hazmat suit and get my questions in, and we need to get them in quick. Because I just got off the holocom with Admiral Dax. We have 18 hours till she arrives. Yeah,
I'm afraid I don't understand.
The Admiral is coming here, Neshek.
I'll try to have as much information as I can for her arrival then.
Thank you. I'm gonna go head to medical. But I'm gonna grab the EVA suit on the way. Hazmat EVA suit on the way.
Do you happen to have a chance to converse with Dr. Hale?
Yeah, her code was altered. Someone altered her code to be used as a trigger for a biological bomb.
I won't be able to verify that unless I can somehow get in contact with the shipyard logs to view all previous versions of the code.
For you, as you're all stressing about that, Dr. Apricity, you had a question about whether this is synthetic or not. So
I have many questions.
I will have you do This is a reasoned science with a difficulty of 3, and I am actually going to spend 5 points of threat on this.
And we ain't got the momentum for it. Fuck.
Yeah, we don't have shit for momentum. I don't think it's.
We have no, we have like one
have
momentum
one. You
from
have
when
one.
I
We
was
have one?
hacking the
That's
ship.
yeah.
May I use one?
Please.
You may have a
Okay.
little momentum as a treat.
I may have. You did say it was reason, so I have one success already.
Correct.
Not that it matters, but I do believe that at least one of my focuses will apply. Pathology, if nothing else.
Yeah. One of them will apply.
Have anything else? I'm already using one of my talents. I bought a momentum, so I got 3 dice.
Okay.
Alright, that is a 4, a 13, and a 15.
Okay.
Which
if
are all
medicine,
passes.
does the 4 pad count double because of focus?
Yes, it does. And you look and you and actually this does help as you are greeted more made known. This is kind of what's going to help you succeed here, is made known that Dr. Hale is back with security. As you're trying to figure this out. And you do, determine that this is a synthetic replication of the phage given by the details of the USS Voyager's logs. And the more you're researching into it, the more you're looking at its, like, structure. This was made almost 20-something years ago. Which can only lead you to figure that someone likely back on Earth had access to it. Very, very potentially someone within Starfleet or a branch of it. But as you come to that dawning realization, that is where we will end part 1.